We're holding now Tzadik Test. We're going to begin Tzadik Ches Amud Beis by the Mishnah. Nasan U'manu L'takin. If one gave items to a craftsman to fix v'kilkulu, and they damaged them, Chayav L'shalom, the craftsmen are liable to pay the damage. Nasan the Chorosh Shida V'tev V'migdal L'takin. If one gave a chest, a box, a cabinet to a carpenter to fix, the kilkul, he damaged it, so Chayav L'shalom, he has to pay. A builder committed to demolish a wall, and while demolishing it, Shibra Avanim Eshizikin, if he broke the stones or damaged them, Chayav L'shalom, he has to pay. If he was demolishing on this side of the wall, and the wall fell from another side and caused damage, so then he's patur from liability. However, if the stone fell and caused damage due to the force of the blow, he is chayav. So again, if one gave items to a craftsman to fix and he damaged, he has to pay for it. For example, he gave either a chest, a box, a cabinet, a carpenter to fix, and he damaged, he's chayav to pay. A builder who committed to demolish a wall, and while demolishing he broke the stones or damaged them, he's chayav to pay. If he was demolishing on the side of the wall and the wall fell from another side and caused damage, he's patur from liability. But if the stone fell and caused damage due to the force of the blow, then he's chayav. So that the Mishnah teaches that if one gave a carpenter a chest or a box or a cabinet to fix and he damaged it, the carpenter is chayav to pay for the damage. Alman Avasi said, "L'shana Elishnas and the Chorosh Shidateva Migdal." Chum taught that a carpenter is chayav to pay damage only in the case where one gave the carpenter a chest, a box, or a cabinet to drive a nail into them. He gave the carpenter complete kelim to repair. And what happened? He drove the nail into them and broke them. But if one gave wood to carpenter to build a chest, a box, a cabinet, and he built a chest, a box, or a cabinet of the wood, and before giving it to the owner, the carpenter broke them, then he's patur from paying the damage caused by these kelim, and he must only pay for the damage caused by the wood. My timer. What's the reason? The craftsman acquires ownership rights through the enhancement of the kelim. The craftsman is considered to have acquired the kelim through this work, which enhances its value, and it remains in his possession until he returns it to the owner. So if he damages the kelim in any way, he's damaging his own item, and he must return only the value of the raw material to its owners. Tanan. So now the Gemara brings us to. We learned in the Mishnah that Nasaluman v'kilkulun, if one gave items to craftsmen to fix and they damaged them, Chayav L'shalom, they're chayav to pay for the damage. My lav the Yoel hates him. What is to not refer to a case where he gave them wood and they nevertheless paid only the value of the kelim? No, it's referred to a case where he gave them a chest, a box, or a cabinet to repair. So Tani Seifa, but for the fact that the later clause of the Mishnah teaches Shidateva Migdal, a chest, a box, or a cabinet, Holiday She'etzim can be learned. The first clause of the Mishnah is referring to wood. So Amr the Chama say in response, Parushe Kamefar. The latter clause is explaining the first case. In what case is it to say that if one gave items to craftsmen to fix, they damaged them, they're chayav to pay? Regard to a case where one gave a carpenter a chest, a box, or a cabinet. And also makes sense to say this. The later clause in the Mishnah teaches in what case the first clause deems them chayav. Now the Sogadai Eitzim enters your mind to think that the first case is referring to a case where he gave wood. So you can ask, now The Mishnah told us, if one gave wood to the craftsman, he's chayav to pay the vessel. And we do not say that a craftsman acquires ownership rights through the enhancement of the kelim. Is it necessary to tell us that if one gave a chest, a box, or cabinet, the craftsman is chayav to pay the damage? So the Gemara says no. If this is your whole reason, if the manner, if it's in it's in the manner which explanation is refuted, this is not an argument. Because you could say, to a safe for the liadation, you taught the latter clause to shed light on the first clause. So you should not say that the first clause is referred to a case where one gave the carpenter a chest, a box, or cabinet. But if he had given him a award, then the carpenter would not be chayiv. So Tana Sefer, therefore, the Mishnah teaches the case when he gave a carpenter a chest, teva shida migdal, shida teva migdal, chaladeisha eitzim. Must be that the first case is talking about eitzim. If Vidochi, nevertheless, you're chayiv sham. Therefore, impossible to prove Ravasi's statement for the Mishnah. Let us say in the Mishnah supports the opinion of Rashi. Why? With regards to one who gives wool to a dyer, or was burned in a place in which it was dyed, the dyer gives the owner the value of the wool. So the Gemara says the value of the wool, the dyer must pay the amount, but the value of the wool and its enhanced value, he doesn't need to pay. Or it says, Is this not referred to a case where the wool was burned after falling into the dye had taken hold? The Ika Shvach, and there he enhanced the value. And one can learn from the Mishnah that a craftsman acquires ownership rights through the enhancement of the keli. Therefore, the dyer need not pay the enhanced value. Or Shmuel says, no, this is not a proof. Or we're dealing with a case where the wool was burned at the moment of falling into the dye, before the dye had taken hold. So there's no enhancement. But according to the opinion, what would happen? What would be the halacha if it was burned after falling into the dye? So then, will the dyer give the owner of the value of the wool and its enhancement? Shmuel, shall we say that Shmuel does not accept the opinion of Ravasi and holds that a uman does not acquire ownership rights through the enhancement of the keli? From Shmuel can tell you, we're dealing with a case dealing with a case where the wool and the herbs used to dye both belonging to the homeowner. The dyer is taking only the payment of his hand, the wages of his labor, and nothing else. In this case, the craftsman does not acquire ownership rights through the enhancement of the kelim, but in a case where the craftsman provides material, he does acquire rights. Where I ask Yochi, if so, if the homeowner herbs are all stolen by the dyer, basically made summary of some money by late. The Mishnah should have said that the dyer gives the owner of the value of his wool and herbs, not the value of the wool. Shmuel is merely dismissing the Gemara's proof with regard to the statement of Ravasi that the craftsman acquires a keli through the enhancement. I say that the Mishnah can be understood, otherwise he does not, however, state his own opinion in this matter. Tashma come and hear the proof of the Brisa. Nesin Talisa the Uman, with regard to one who gave his garment to a craftsman, deal, and the craftsman concluded the work and notified the owner that the work was complete. Even if the owner delays paying the craftsman from now until 10 days, he does not violate for his delay on the issur of delaying. Suddenly, if the craftsman gave the garment to him midday, he was Bava Kamah once the sun had already set, then he is over batal. So that the woman can be shachli, and if it enters in your mind that a craftsman acquires ownership to the enhancement of the kelim, am I ever mishum Batal, why does he violate the Isser of Talon? It's a craftsman, if it is as if the craftsman acquired their garment, and the payment is considered to be a purchase of the garment of the owner rather than a wage. Or the money made of Kana from the Girda de Sarbla. We're talking about the laundering of a thick garment. Like a shvacha, there is no enhancement of the garment. Therefore, the craftsman does not acquire it. So Rashi says, the Maya ultimately, to what end did the owner of the garment give to the craftsman? He gave it to him in order to soften it. So, Hainu Shvacha. So once it's softened it, this is an enhancement. And the craftsman has therefore acquired it. Which is light tzricha. No. It's necessary to agli levishi. In case where the owner hired the craftsman for shredding, to forcibly shred on the garment and water until it softens. Bicha b'masa. With the owner paying the craftsman a milk coin for each shred. That is clear that this is a higher labor. The craftsman is paid based on the amount of times he performed an action, not on the contractual labor, where he is paid based on the outcome. In this case, he softened the garment. So Moses says, "Lamai is sleek." And with regard to what he entered our minds initially, that the owner did not hire the owner for treading, but rather he hired him to the craftsman based on the assumption that the garment should be returned laundered. So the shishis, the boy who made shishis, kablonis. If one hires a contractor, shall we say that the statement of Shisha disagrees with the statement of Rasi, holds that a craftsman acquires ownership rights to the enhancement of the keli, and his payment is not considered to be a wage? Talking about with regards to an agent tasked with delivery of a letter, in which case the contractor only tasks if to deliver the letter, there's no enhancement through which he might acquire ownership rights. This against Baltolan, the wages applies. We say the statement of Asi that a craftsman acquires ownership rights to the enhancement of the keli is subject to machlekes tanoim. Aseli shedim, fashion bracelets. There's zomim etabas, earrings or rings for me. A kaddish loch, I will be mekudeshes to as a payment for your work. Even son, once he has fashioned them, she is betrothed. She's not until money enters her house. My moment, money enters her possession. My moment, what is money? If you see that the very money, the ring she ordered, so Meshmois holds that even that very money is not required in order to be Mukadeshus. But so then, my Mekadeshus, so how does she Mukadeshus? My moment means Momen must means another money. Payment she owes him for the service. According to the opinion of the Chacham, in order for the Kedushin to take effect, he must give her additional money. While according to the mayor, the Kedushin takes effect when he gives her the jewelry. Now the Gemara says, and assumed everyone agrees that the obligation to pay the wages incurred continuously from the beginning of the previous he was hired to its end. Kulama holds that one who is Mekadesh alone is any Mekadesh. She therefore cannot be Mekadesh to him, but not having to pay for the work. Now, woman can mishach. Was it not that they disagree with regards to craftsman acquires ownership rights through the enhancements of the vessels of Mesa or Uman Kenim Shakli, and but it's someone anyone Kenim Shakli. This is like anyone Kenim Shakli. Everybody agrees that they're not Kenim. Here, they disagree with regards to the issue of whether the obligation to pay a wage is incurred continuously from the beginning of the period he was hired until its end. Maybe may somewhere in the Skris of a safe there isn't, or but some Skris of a safe. Everybody agrees yesterday in the Skris of safe. Everybody agrees that the obligation to pay a wage is incurred continuously from the beginning of the period he was hired to its end. And here they disagree. Rabbi said Mekadesh Milva Mekadeshes. The Chacham hold Mekadesh Milva is any Mekadeshes. Rabbi the Kol Al Meishna Skris No, Rabbi said like this. Another, the Kol Alma, everybody holds Yeshna Skris with Chabat Seif. And the Kol Alma holds a Makadosh Mil and Mikdash. The Kol Alma Einum L'Kelim Nemeshurach. Kli. Allah Chamaz Ginu. What we're dealing with here, H.A.Sif La Neifech Mishalei. And it's a case where he added a jewel of his own for her. Rabbi Savar, Meir Savar is Milva Pruta Daita Pruta. That if a man is Makadosh with alone in one Pruta, her mind is focused on one Pruta. Therefore, in the case of the jewel, serves as Mukadeshis. But it's not a Milva Pruta. How if a man is Mukadeshis, a man with alone, and one Pruta Daita Amilva. Her mind is focused on the loan. So the loan serves as Kedusha money, and if one is Mekadesh a woman with their loan, she's not Mekadesh. Now, over folks tonight, and Rabbi Meir and the Chacham disagree in the machlekes between those tonight. Tanya, B'schar Shasisimach. If one says to a woman, be Mekadesh to me with the payment for which I have worked for you. And Mekadesh is not Mekadesh, the payment is a loan. Since she already owes him for his money. But if he says, be Mekadesh to me with the payment for which I will work for you, Mekadesh. Actually, they said that the halacha is now, the word says, Ma'ika ben Tana Kamal Tana Savan, but the Rabbi Nosson. What is the difference between the first Tana and the Rabbi Nosson? The difference between them is schirus, with regard to the wage. The obligation incurred continuously, or only upon the completion of the work. So, Bein Rabbi Nosson, Rabbi Yehuda Nasi, the difference between Rabbi Yehuda Nosson and Rabbi Yehuda Nasi, and the Gemara is Milvo Pruta. Nosson holds that if a man is Mekadesh a woman with a loan, one for their minds focused on the loan. In the case, his jewel is disregarded. Rabbi Yehuda Nasi holds that her mind is focused on the fruit. In this case, the jewel, she's Mekadesh with the jewel. Now the Gemara returns to the topic of a craftsman who damages the item with which he is working. However, Shmuel says, Tabach Umishikilko. An expert butcher who damaged an animal by shechting it incorrectly, making it kosher, is chayav to pay the owner of the animal for the damage. Masiku. Why? Because the one who caused the damage is negligent. Pesheo. He needs to be share. He's like the one who told an animal's owner to shchet the mikan, slaughter from here, the area of the throat where shchit is performed, the shachal mikan, and he shechted it from a different area of the throat in violation of the owner's wishes. Why must we both say that the butcher is one who causes damage and he is negligent? Now, if Shmuel had said that only he is the one who causes damage, I would have said that this statement applies only in the case where the butcher shechted the animal for pay. But he did it bechinam like and one who works without pay is considered a shemer chinam, was chayav for damage caused by pshia. Person who gives an animal to a butcher, and the butcher killed it in a way that rendered an animal carcass. Pater, so if the butcher is an expert, he's pater from liability. Head will be chayav. Without particular expertise in the act of shechting, he's chayav. It makes it soften. If the owner of the animal paid the butcher, then had been is chayav. Amalei. So, which is mashma that an expert butcher will shecht an animal and properly is exempt from shechting. Shmuel said to him, Lacher mechich. It might be molded by raising such a question. Also, one of the Chacham came and raised same objection to Shmuel. Shmuel said to him, now you should receive what your friend received from me. Since I say to you my statement according to the opinion of the mayor, you say to me, you raise an objection based on the opinion of the mayor. Why were you not precise in the consideration of the choice of my words? I say, he who causes damage, he is negligent. He's like one who is told by an animal, the owner shechted from here, and he shechted it from there. Who accepts this reasoning? You're married. So Meir rules that he should have taken upon himself responsibility to perform his task properly. If he did not, he is required to pay the damage that he caused. The Bryce, and according to the opinion of the Chacham, will exempt from liability. Hey, Rabbi Meir, which statement of the Meir is Shmuel's ruling? Really, Elam of the Meir. We say it's the statement of the Meir. The Tanakh, we learn Shari Balab, we said enough of Fanam Karai. As we learned in the Mishnah, an ox owner tied it with the reins of a fence. We know with Fanam Karai, or locked at the gate before the appropriate manner of Yosef Ezek, and he went to damage, so Ben Tamim will Chayev to the Meir. So Gemara explains, Rameir holds that a shmued requires a heightened level of safeguarding. Since the owner did not safeguarded, the same would apply here to the one who agrees. For a task must exercise care in executing it, otherwise he is chayav to pay for the damage. So this is also a cray plea. The arguing psukim, the Rameir, the Tan, the Spele Adam Shachar. We learned there, if one gave a wool to dye it red for him, and he dyed it black. Shachar saw Adam, Rameir sold less than the maid samray. The dyer gives the owner the value of his wool, indicating that he's chayav to pay the damage. So the Mercedes Hashem Yidayim, Kolel Mine. The statement also does not prove that according to Rameir, a worker is chayav to pay for a job performed properly. Since there, the dyer buyer, burned the wool, thereby removing it from the owner of the direct action. If one jug broke on the road and he did not remove it, or if the camel fell on the road and he did not stand up, Meir says chayv, and he's going to come part of the adam. And we maintain that they disagree with regards to the question of whether one who stumbles is considered negligent. According to the opinion of the Meir, one who stumbles is considered negligent, since he should have paid attention while he was walking. He's therefore chayav for whatever damages he caused. In this case, of the expert butcher as well, the Meir holds that he is considered to be a negligent when damaging the animal he shechted. The Chacham hold that he is not negligent, therefore exempt from liability. An expert butcher damage chayav is chayav. Even if he's an expert as butcher of tziperi, it's not considered an accident, and it's considered to be his fault. There was a incident in which the butcher who damaged the animal was brought to the court before Rabbi Yechilin in the shul. Tana Moed, Romerlei, and Rabbi Yechilin said to the butcher, Zil, I see the machas Tanagelim. Go bring proof that you're an expert in shechting chickens, and I will exempt you from payment. Or it says Lekasha, Kan Bechinum, Kan Besucher. In the other case, the butcher shechted the animal for free. Is there, for example, while there, Kan Besucher, there, he took pay. Everybody's chayav to pay. One who wants a butcher to be chayav, to pay him in the event that the damage the animal shechted should advance him a dinner, so he paid for the services, and he's chayav to pay for the damage. The Gemara raises a question from the Tosefta. One who brought wheat to another to grind for him, and the miller did not wet the grain sufficiently. Well, what happened was the subinum worsen and converted it into bran or coarse bran, or kemel chanachtim, or let's say flour the baker, was pasti pelin, and went under big, and what happened was when the chaim leishukanes zocher. So he's chayiv. This indicates that even if the work was done for free, the worker has the legal status of one who's paid. Is chayiv to pay for the damage. The says even pay shukanes zocher, because he's a paid zocher, and often receives payments. There was a certain animal that was shafted with an incision knot in the neck that was brought before Rav. Tarfi, he declared non-kosher, and he exempted the butcher from paying its value. Pogu bein of Kana of Asimahu Gavra. Kana of Asi encountered that man, the owner of the animal. Well, they Avid Beoch Rav Tarti. Said to him, Rav did two for you. Right, Tarti, what are the two? If we say that there are two unfavorable rulings, then what are they? One should have declared it an animal kosher according to the base of Yehuda. Tarfa de Rabbanan and Tarfa de Rabbanan, Inami Rabbanan. And the second is that even according to the Chachamim and Pidi the Chachamim, the Boi the Chiv the Tabach should have ruled that the butcher is chayav to pay for the damage. So the Mishra the Mimra Kagavna, but these two Rav Kana and Asi are referring to is it permitted for them to say this type of statement to the owner of the animal. Latanya we l'nachshietzi. The Bryce, the one the judge leaves the Beis Din. He should not say, I found you innocent, my friend found you chayav. What should I do since my friends outnumber me? Here it says, he that goes about as a talebearer reveals secrets. Rather, two favorable rulings. First, that by declaring the animal to be not kosher, he did not allow you to eat an item about which there is uncertainty as to whether it's forbidden. And the second, by examining the butcher from you, he prevented you from being in a situation where it is suffix. Now, Itmar learned Hamara Dina l'Shulchanim Nimtzarah. Person who presents dinner to a money changer and found it to be bad. Tani Chada Uman is Pater on the head it Chayav Tani Dal, when Uman Ben Uman did Chayav. However, Kitanya Uman Pater Kiged in Nak to be Isser. The money changer the Nak and Isser, whose expert is so great, like Shikha the Mimra Klau. They don't need to learn about assessing currency at all. Ella B'Maito, so when do they make a mistake? To B'Siksa Chadato. Mistake with regards to the coin of a new press. He shagged enough and went to the Sikha, which at the time was leaving the press, and he didn't know the value. He said the Aksi dinner l'Rabchia. There was a certain woman who presented a dinner to Rabchis to assess its authenticity. Amalei, he said to her, value, it is proper coin. The next day she came before him, Amalei, and said to him, Aksiz, I presented to others. Amalei Bishu, and they said to me that it's a bad dinner. And I'm not able to spend it. He said, go exchange it for her. And write on my tablet, Dain Asik Bish. This is a bad transaction, because I should have not assessed the coin. Right, so what is the difference about the Nakon history? Or exempt due to the fact that they do not need to learn about assessing currency. The two did not need to learn, as he was also an expert. Or it says, he did should know to them, this is the core of their existence. He said, this way is referring to Gemilas Chasadim. They must walk, so he went, Lifnim Mishura Sadin.